Howdy y'all, Rowan here. So today I thought we would do a little playing with pairs with some of the decks from the Neon Knights collection that I recently made a video on. I will link that below. I wanted to use the Queer Tarot and all of the oracles today, so we're going to be going through those. Give me a second, I'll be right back and we'll launch into it. Alright, I thought we were going to start perhaps with the Modern Nirvana Oracle, just because it has the least number of cards out of all of the Oracle decks that are in the capsule collection. And so I've got the Queer Tarot here on either side and the Modern Nirvana in the middle. My cats are throwing a fit because part of my apartment is closed off right now, so if you hear them in the background, that's all that is. They just want to be able to go wherever their little hearts desire. Yes, buddy, what is it? Yeah, see? All right, so we've got the Two of Cups, Intention, and the Ten of Wands. Oh my gosh, he's so pitiful. So this is a really interesting Two of Cups. It's got this cat floating overhead. I don't have the guidebook. It's in the other room. I'm not going to go get it. I don't know. I don't really want to read the cards today. Like, that sounds so awful, but like, this morning, I know everybody loves my playing with pairs, specifically because I read the cards as I go through them, but this morning I didn't want to pull for myself. I didn't want to pull to study. I wanted to make a video, but I don't want to read the cards. I just want to look at the pretty pictures. So I guess I'll just kind of talk for a little bit. I'm in the middle of moving apartment right now, and it is a lot of work. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. So for a multitude of reasons, it is very likely, though not set in stone, that my husband is going to be living on campus this upcoming semester. So I am in a position where I am going to have this apartment mostly to myself. Possibly, very, very possibly. So I get to decorate it however I want to, and I don't have to worry about making room for his furniture or music things because he's going to have them, of course, with him on campus, so that he can focus on his, like, final stuff that he has to do. I don't know, I'm really scared because it's an intensity of loneliness that I'm not used to, but I think it's going to be really good for me in a lot of ways. Like, I'm going to miss him, don't get me wrong, but his campus is not very far away, and I could move in with him on campus, but I just signed this lease, and I don't want to break it, and financially it's feasible, so, like, that sounds so silly, but we can't have cats on campus, and there's a lot of factors that go into it. I don't want to get into his personal life with school and stuff, but this is the decision that's probably going to be best for us, and it's just really exciting, the opportunity to have my own place, but it's also really scary because it's not something that I am in any way used to. I've never really lived on my own, not really. I've had roommates, I've lived with family, but I've never really lived on my own. So this is going to be weird and exciting. I am also currently in the process of trying to Knight of Cups, Authentic Expression, and the Empress. That's such a good lineup. Oh my gosh. I'm currently in the process of trying to put together a bunch of equipment to start a business offering mobile facials. I am obviously settling into a new apartment. I'm trying to find a new job with my workplace. There's some stuff going on at work that has made it clear to me that I am not going, basically I need to make, well, need is a strong word. I want to make more money, and the best way I can go about doing that is going to be to just move jobs. And quite frankly, the place that I work at does not offer waxing and does not offer certain elevated modalities such as microblading or anything like that. So I am looking at getting a new job so that I can expand what I offer, right? So that's something that's on the table. There's just a whole lot of change going on in my life right now. And I think a very big part of me is tired of turning to the cards because, like, it's not, there's so much that's up in the air, and the cards basically just keep telling me that every time I turn to them. They're like, if you work really hard, I keep getting the Moon card, I keep getting the Tower card, I keep getting the Fool card, like all these cards about change, moving through uncertainty, things like that. And so I'm trying to tackle, I am trying to tackle life with an attitude of opportunity and of potential, and I'm trying to look at all of the changes that are happening and are being initiated by myself as positive things, but it's, you know, it's not easy to do when the world is a big scary place and you are but a tiny little wimp within it. So I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. We get the Magician, Chaos, and Page of Swords. Yeah, that matches. That makes sense. That's a lot of chaotic energy indeed. Seer, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Oh, this one actually feels like it's for me. Oh, with me living on my own and having to be financially stable, and like my husband still says he's going to be able to like help out with bills and stuff, even though he's not going to be staying here. I mean, like, you know, he still has to help pay for our phone bill and our car insurance and everything like that. So like, I greatly appreciate the situation that we're in, where we're able to take on this additional financial burden of living two places at once. But I say financial burden, it's very likely that his loans and grants, I don't really need to be spilling his school business, but it might not be nearly the burden that I'm afraid that it will be, and I'm trying to trust the process. And the fact of the matter is, it's not like we're unsupported. We have safety nets in place. We are fortunate enough that our family, like worst case scenario, I'm never going to be homeless. My husband and I can move back in with either of our families if we absolutely had to. I'm not saying we would be welcome for as long as necessary, but we would be welcome for at least a while. And I don't want to make it sound like, you know, this isn't the end of the world or anything. Like, I know I said I get the Tower card, but this isn't actually the end of the world. It's just, it's a big change to how I'm used to living. All of my structures are going to be changing. My routines are going to be changing. And it's really exciting because I get to base those things off, like I said, what I want to do. But I'm going to miss my husband like the Dickens. And I'm so used to having him around. We've been living together for longer than we've been married. And I'm just so used to his energy. And it's gonna be weird. But it's going to be kind of fun too, because we kind of get to date each other again. You know, going back and forth between each other's places. He gets to try to sneak me in on campus, and you know, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a nice little thrill that we haven't gotten to do in a while. So I do look forward to a lot of aspects of these changes, but it's weird, and it's strange. And also, I have to admit, there's a large part of me that doesn't know how to talk to people about it, because like, how do you say, oh yeah, my husband and I are moving out from each other, like we're no longer going to be living together? Like, I don't that's a weird conversation to have with people if you don't want to get into the nitty-gritty details of why, you know. But it's still an exciting thing for us, and we've never been conventional. We've always wanted separate bedrooms, and in our old apartment we actually had that. So it's kind of nice, because I was planning on us like being together in a smaller space than what we had before. It's a nicer space, but it's smaller. So I was worried about that, and now it turns out I have all this space to myself at least half of the time. He'll probably be spending a lot of time over at my place when he is able to. I say a lot of time. Now that I think about it, our schedules are going to be pretty hectic. And that's another thing too, is like, I don't I don't know how often we're going to be able to see each other during the week, and that's a bummer. Like, I know plenty of married couples do the thing where the husband works in another town and goes back and forth, and those couples are so strong, and I am, quite frankly, I never wanted to be in that position, but here we are, and it's going to be good for me for a lot of reasons, not the least of which being that I'm a mess, and, you know, I don't always do a good job of taking care of myself, but I need to be the one to do that, and at the end of the day, it's not fair of me to expect anyone to take care of myself as much as I need to expect myself to take care of myself. So it's just that, you know, I'm having to, I'm dealing with changes. That's all. Changes. Yeah, I am facing the strange. So that's what's on the table for me. You know. Also, my plants are doing really well. I've been killing plants for a couple years now, trying to get the hang of gardening, and it turns out this entire time it was because so at my old apartment, the patio that we had, the balcony, we were on the second floor, the balcony that we had faced west, and so every day at sunset, the balcony would get inundated with basically direct sunlight, and that direct sunlight really heated it up. And so I'm pretty sure that balcony would get to over 120 degrees sometimes, and that was killing all of my plants. And here I thought I was the plant murderer, when in fact it was the design of the building. The design of the building made it so that the plants could not thrive the way that they needed to. Make believe, 7 of Cups and Ace of Swords. Oh, that's a good lineup. I really need to be paying more attention to this rather than just blabbing like you're a diary. But like, again, I wasn't in the mood to read the cards today because I'm dealing with so much change and the cards are not helpful. All they've been doing is telling me that it's about taking time and being comfortable with yourself and not relying on others. And it's like, I already know all of that. I know all of that. What I want is to be able to look at pretty pictures without feeling the weight of my own life on my shoulders, but that is impossible, because what is art for if not to make us think about our own experiences and the experiences of others? And so I should probably get back into reading right about now. I have been reading Drawing Down the Moon. I'll talk more about that in my monthly wrap-up video, but I have been at my new apartment. They've got a great gym, and so I've been reading while I do some gentle cardio every day that I go to work out. So that's been really nice to experience. King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles with restlessness in between. That's interesting. I like that. I don't know. I've just kind of been blabbing. Thank you so much for sitting here and looking at pictures with me while I talk. I have not been taking in most of the messages. The cards, I'm sure, have been screaming at me. I'm just thoroughly enjoying looking at the bright colors of the Queer Tarot and letting these images soothe my soul a little bit. It's just hard, you know? A lot of things have changed with regards to my work and my husband's schooling and our living situation, and a lot of things about what we thought our future was going to look like have been shifting because of those things. And that doesn't mean that our main goals in life are unattainable, but it does mean that the path there is going to look a lot different than we thought that it would. And while we do have each other through this, we're also going to have to both be in a position where we rely and focus on ourselves for a while, and that's really scary to do while trying to maintain a relationship. And walking backwards with regards to access to intimacy is going to be really difficult for both of us. And I'm not going to lie, there's a lot that I'm worried about with regards to that, but if we can't make it through it, then, you know, realistically, I do believe that we're going to be fine. Like, no matter what, we're going to be fine. Worst case scenario, financially speaking, we would not be homeless. We'd be able to move back in with our family. There's literally nothing that can go so wrong that I'm going to, like, perish or anything like that, you know? It's just a matter of making it through a confusing time that does not look the way I had gotten used to life looking. And realistically, this is really good for me. I know this in my bones, and I keep saying it, but I mean, like, I need to get better at dealing with change, and I need to get better at accepting that with the life that I want to lead, it's not going to look the way other people's lives look, I guess is the best way to say that. Like, the life that I want to lead is, in order to get what I want and to have the amount of time to myself that I want, to be able to grow in the skills that I want to grow in, to be able to make the kinds of connections with people that I want to make, I'm going to have to get okay with not being in control of every little facet. I'm going to have to get okay with not only being alternative in lifestyle, but being visibly and just like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, other than that I'm going to be in a position where I can't hide from myself, I guess, is really what it gets down to. And that's really scary. It's exciting and thrilling, but it's also really scary not being able to hide from yourself. And so I both look forward to it and am terrified at the same time. And the cards are a nice distraction, but right now that's what I want them to be. I want them to be a distraction. I don't want to sit here and look at my favorite thing and think about my own life even more, because I have been spending so much of my free time thinking about my own life. And so I just wanted to sit and talk and look at some bright colors. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm sorry this wasn't my usual playing with pairs. I do really enjoy reading the cards as I make the video. Like, it's really good practice for me to see how, it's really like a type of improv practice. Like, okay, what is the first thing that's coming to your mind? Trust it, roll with it, yes, and I hate to compare something that's so spiritual for myself and for other people to improv, but functionally the same energies are being applied, you know, like you're working with subtle cues that you're getting from the energy around you, whether that's from other people, from just like tapping into universal source, whether you believe in spirit communication through the cards, etc. So, I mean, like, it's basically improv. It's just improv that you're trying to get to the truth with, rather than improv that you're trying to get to the laugh with, if that makes sense. This is an embarrassing video, but I'm going to post it anyways, because I am a glutton for punishment, and because, quite frankly, like, I like this space. I like this YouTube space is a safe place for me to come and explore my passion and myself without the pressure of truly being seen. Like, in the Iris Oracle, it came up when we were flipping through the card that's like fear of being seen in the light or something like that. Now I'm going to open this up and go find it again, because ultimately that's what it is, except rather than being seen by other people, it's fear of being seen by myself. And that card just really embodies the vibe that I'm getting at right now. Yeah, life's going to look really different, and I'm excited about it, but I'm also nervous because I have never actually done a good job of taking care of myself, and now I'm going to be in a position where I have to. I'm not going to be able to lean on my husband for it, which is good, because, like, I need him to focus on school, and I need to focus on my career, and this is just the best course of action for us for the short term, but it makes me scared about the long term. You know, everything makes me scared about the long term, though. I have an anxiety disorder. But yeah, fear that the light will bring judgment. The judgment is from myself for myself, and I'm afraid that if I see myself fully and totally, that I will not be able to reconcile that with who I thought that I was, I guess. Yeah, that's really the heart of it. I'm scared of finding out that the person I am is not the person that I want to be. And if that's the case, like realistically, I can just do the work to change as much as possible and then do the work to come to terms with what I can't change. So there's really nothing to fear except the process itself. And I need to get okay with the process. So thank you for hanging out. Mwah. Love you. Bye.